Hi everyone, welcome to our Group A1 video presentation. This video is to introduce you about the journal articles from Oliver with the title here that will enhance consumer loyalty. Before we start, I would like to introduce you me and my teammates who will show up in this video. My name is Wei Wei and my teammates are Chong Tiong, Izudin, Hongjie, Khalib, Panil and Jiho. From the title just now, you can obviously see the loyalty word that had catch your eyes. But before the customer loyalty being further explored by the marketing researchers, customer satisfaction used to be the mainstream and main concept to be adopted in the most organizations over the past. But the researchers have started bonded both satisfaction and loyalty up because that they found that satisfaction isn't enough to retain their customer. Based on the evidence like from Bain and Company, between that 65 and 85% of customers who claim to be satisfied and very satisfied will defect. Hence, the organization should explore a strategy beyond the satisfactions. They have linked the satisfaction and loyalty because of the positive impact in terms of higher profit and lower costing. Therefore, that Oliver had proposed that two research questions here. First question, what aspect of satisfaction response has implication for loyalty? And the second question, what fraction of loyalty response is due to this satisfaction component? Since their relationship is not linear, the articles have mentioned 6 potential models to explain loyalty and satisfactions. The first model, satisfaction and loyalty are the separate manifestation of the same concept. The second model, that satisfaction is fundamental to achieve the loyalty. Without the satisfaction, loyalty cannot exist. The third model, satisfaction is one of the components of loyalty. And the fourth model, satisfaction and loyalty are the components to achieve the ultimate loyalty. And the fifth model, satisfaction is part of the loyalty but not fundamental. That's why the satisfaction is not inside the loyalty circle. The sixth model, the final one, satisfaction is the beginning stepstone into the loyalty. It acts as the independent variable. So guys, let's have a quiz. Please click the link that I have added in the team chat and select one of the model below that you think that can be well explain their relationship. When we come to the end of the video, I will enclose the class result and see whether that you all think the same as Oliver. Now we can move to the definitions of these two terms that Oliver would like to define in psychological aspect. For customer satisfaction, he defined it as a pleasurable fulfillment, whereas customer loyalty described as a deeply held commitment to rebuy and repatronize a preferred product or service consistently in the future, thereby causing a repetitive same brand or the same brand set purchasing despite of situation, influences, and marketing effort, having the potential to cause a switching behavior. Now I'll pass to my teammate to explain further on the loyalty.
Just now, we have briefly explained the relationship between satisfaction and loyalty. Now, let's move on to what the author has defined the loyalty phases. In paper, the author defined the loyalty within the customer attitude-based framework model. There are 4 loyalty phases. Number 1, cognitive loyalty. In the first phase, consumer focus on brand information and performance aspects such as price and features. Product X is better than other alternative product. Hence, the depth of loyalty is not deeper. Number 2, affective loyalty. For second phases, consumer directed toward brand likableness. Here, I buy product X because I like it. Similar to cognitive loyalty, this form of loyalty remains subject to switching as no deeper level of the commitment. Third phase is cognitive loyalty, which consumer focus on wanting to rebuy the brand. I'm committed to keep buying the product X. This commitment reflects consumer desire or intention to repurchase the brand, which is similar to any good intention and motivation. And last phase is action loyalty, that consumer commitment to the action of rebuying. I buy product X all the time. This action control accompanied by an additional desire to overcome the obstacle that might prevent the acting of buying and ultimately lead to initial rebuying. That's all for my part. Over to Panay for obstacle loyalty phases. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. From my teammate presentation just now, I believe you have some idea how consumers become loyal in that 4 royalty phases. Now, I will briefly touch on the obstacles in royalty phases. The author of the journal also discussed at length on the obstacles, where each royalty phases has different vulnerability or weaknesses due to consumer consumption pattern and switching incentives offered by competitors. At cognitive royalty, consumer may easily switch to alternative products if they experience any deterioration in performance or quality of the products. Consumer at this cognitive stage also open for trying new products as no brand affections at this stage. On effective royalty, generally the unpleasant experience or dissatisfactions from the earlier cognitive stage may become a contributing factor for consumer to look for alternative products in the affective phase. What more, if the competitor can deploy a competitive message using imaginary or association to boost the image of the alternative brand while degrading the existing brand. Under cognitive phase, consumer can still accept some small number of dissatisfaction episodes due to strong royalty commitment. Nevertheless, the motivation to remain committed can fade away if consumers continuously exposed to competitive message or communications which enhance the perceived severity of dissatisfaction that experienced by consumer on a particular brand. Exposing the consumer to product trial such as sample and coupon may be effective since cognitive consumer has only committed to the brand but has yet to develop a strong desire to avoid competitors' brand intentionally. Lastly, in the action phase, the most difficult phase to attack by competitor, as consumer already develop strong desire to only buy one brand and they close their door for any competitive communications. Only if the brand is unavailable or induce unavailability like stock lift could push the consumer to try another brand. Just to sum up, there are 2 key takeaways on the obstacles in royalty. Firstly, one major strategy or competitive weapon can be used by competitors, which common in all phases, is the creation of dissatisfaction with the current brand to induce the switching to alternative products or brands. Secondly, the cognitive action loyalty model gives us the understanding on consumers' journey to royalty, but still fail to satisfy the definition of ultimate royalty because each royalty phase is vulnerable to switching. Thank you.
So, in the journal, Oliver wanted to further investigate and explore on the perspective of consumer loyalty, which is led to categorizing different types of loyalty in different situations. He derived the loyalty framework, which is reflected in Table 2. So, for the first variable, which is the individual fortitude, represents the degree to which the consumer will fight off competitive brand temptations based on their allegiance to the brand. As for the lower levels of fortitude, the consumer only has brand-related information to establish loyalty on, whereas the highest level of fortitude represents the degree to which the consumer would defend fiercely against competing brands. As for the second variable, representing the community and social support, provides an environment where it is enticing to remain loyal in a passive sense or it is proactively promoting loyalty. Lowest level of community contains the weakest case of more vulnerable loyalty, whereas the highest case represents the apex of loyalty. Now, as you can see from the table, Oliver categorized 4 types of loyalty strategies, and I'll go more into them in detail on the second slide. But for now, let's just understand where it stands on the strategy table. First, and the weakest form of loyalty, which is scored low on both axes, would be the product superiority, which is explained by my groupmate earlier, a strategy that was built from the 4 phases of loyalty. Determined self-isolation is the second strategy, which is evolved from product superiority, scoring low in community support but high in fortitude. Third would be village envelopment, which is low in fortitude but high in community support. And finally, the strongest form of loyalty, which is the immersed self-identity with high fortitude and high community support. Going in detail for each of the loyalty strategies. The first would be determined self-isolated. How it works is that the consumer will remove themselves from persuasive arguments of competitive brands. This is because the consumer develops a love-type attachment with the product. But one of the problems faced by this type of loyalty is that it is harder for common items to gain such loyalty if there are many duplicates of the original or different brands of the same product are readily available. Examples of the determined self-isolated would be sports celebrities, entertainment celebrities, like specific idols in K-pop, or if you focus on kids, would be Kermit from Sesame Street, Barbie dolls, and Disney characters. The second type of loyalty would be the village envelopment. Loyalty is gained by the passive acceptor of the brand environment. This is where individuals feel a sense of community when they share the same consumption values and behaviors, which is also known as consumption community. This in turns encourages the community to stick with the existing brand. This kind of loyalty rewards the consumer by providing camaraderie, which is also known as friendship, extra product, or discounted supplementary goods and services. Now, the last one would be immersed self-identity, which is what most of the companies are trying to achieve. Consumer forms a natural match with both of the products and its environment. The product becomes part and parcel of the consumer's self and social identity. So we are talking about consumers that would go extreme lengths to uphold loyalty states such as expensive travels, special uniforms, and bumper stickers. Or if you're talking about behaviors in the Asian context, queuing up a night prior to the latest product release. And with that, we conclude the explanation of loyalty strategies, and I'll pass it to my group mate next to present on the case studies. Thank you.
According to Oliver research on the relationship between satisfaction and loyalty, the author concludes that satisfaction is a necessary step in loyalty formation, but it becomes less important as loyalty begins to set through other mechanisms. This mechanism explained by two groups of loyalty development, which are loyalty phases and 4 loyalty strategies. Now, we would like to present two famous brands as our case study, which are Perodua and Harley-Davidson. We will discuss how these two companies play their role in the loyalty strategy. First, Perodua is a local famous quality and affordable car manufacturer. Their average selling price is in the region of Ringgit Malaysia 30,000 to Ringgit Malaysia 75,000. With this, Perodua is more toward into product stability in loyalty strategy. But this company product selling is more localized and regional because Perodua's product is limited to only 8 countries. Therefore, even though there is a high individual fortitude to purchase this product, but they have very low community or social support, which Oliver classified as determined self-isolation in loyalty strategies. Next, now we move to another brand, which is Harley-Davidson. This company is selling heavyweight of motorbike. Their product average selling price is in the region of Ringgit Malaysia 70,000 to Ringgit Malaysia 200,000. Harley-Davidson has a long history, which is about 120 years. They are selling premium product, lifestyle, and culture. Besides, Harley-Davidson rich in product and design and innovation, which influence about 100 countries worldwide. With this establishment of Harley-Davidson fan club, this company is classified into high community and social support, which are village environment, and immerse self-identity in loyalty strategy. Moving forward, we will further explain more detail on this in next slide.
Not all products and services can achieve ultimate loyalty. According to the article, at least 4 constructs are required to have the potential to achieve ultimate loyalty, which are uniqueness, adoration, community, and fortitude. If any of these constructs is not constantly attained by the firm, the depth of the loyalty state will become shallow and threatening. We have put up a comparison of these 4 constructs for Perodua and Harley-Davidson for us to see the contrast. In terms of uniqueness to tailor for customers' expectations, both companies have different strategy. Perodua go for superiority, affordability, whereas Harley-Davidson go for product superiority, exclusiveness, individualism, and strong style. Harley-Davidson rank higher than Perodua because their product tell more story. In terms of adoration, both companies have potential to achieve higher adorations. They create love-type attachment because consumer tends to treat car and motorbike as an object of love. Harley-Davidson in this case rank higher in the adorations because not only they sell motorbike, they also sell matching accessories like helmet, jacket, gloves, and other gears. Unlike Perodua, they only sell cars. For community and social support that helps connecting the customers, Harley-Davidson rank highest because they spend a lot of efforts in connecting their customers by creating Harley's Owners Group and organizing events and rally around the world for their members to fellowship and expressing their lifestyle, whereas Perodua is lacking in this area. So Perodua is actually benefit less in social influence psychology compared to Harley-Davidson. Last but not least, Harley-Davidson is able to achieve higher customer fortitude and allow customers to associate their brand's philosophy and shield against the competitor promotional appeal. Obviously, Perodua target affordability is unable to achieve the equal scale of customer fortitude. From the financial data, Harley-Davidson is a clear winner of ultimate loyalty.
In conclusion, I would like to highlight 3 major points from this journal. First, satisfaction is a stepping stone or a necessary step in loyalty formation. It becomes less important once loyalty is said to be influenced by other factors. Loyalty beyond satisfaction influenced by other elements. When these are brought into account, ultimate loyalty emerges as a combination of perceived product superiority, personal fortitude, social bonding, and their synergistic. Second, community and social support play a huge role in stimulate consumer to remain loyal. Either directly or indirectly promotes loyalty. For example, like our case study for Harley-Davidson, this shows exactly how loyalty is beyond satisfaction. Third, dissatisfaction is a negative virus for loyalty. It's a switching inducer for consumer to switch brand. It is where competitor can launch their attack. Negative rumors has a much greater effect on dissatisfaction compared to positive rumor on satisfaction. It's a disproportionate impact. So that is the 3 major highlights that I want to share with you. And that brings us to an end. I'd like to thank you for your time and attention today. Thank you so much for your interest and attention. Bye-bye.